action. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Tua going to throw. And going deep for Hill. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Fields. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Looking to pass. Tua. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. They find some open field here. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he fires one that's intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick 6.
I think that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On second down, Mostert. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Once again, it's Mostert. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll try it now with Mostert. And some room to roam now. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he will take it on out to the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 42 yards on the ground for him so far.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from walking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Fields on 1st down. Locates Mooney on the out route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Bears on the move. They've got another 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Bears have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. They'll try and run it here. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Tua, they'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Tua. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Going quickly out to the right side. And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. On play action, here's Tua. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 2nd and 10, Tua. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
And they've used him in the passing game to great effect so far. And here they get it to him again on the screen, and it turns into a nice positive play.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He'll hit Mostert again here. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Fourth down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bears will get the football back. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Just all around a solid performance, and now they've got the 3-score lead here, Charles, so the final seconds of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, in this one, they've been in control, haven't they? They've earned this victory. No question who the better team was out there in this game. And frankly, the score could have been a lot worse than it was. Give them a lot of credit for how they played in this one.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before